It's a Kennedy Cup rivalry match as the new-look UMass Lowell Riverhawks enter today 3-6 in search of a third straight win on the season. Enter the Mullen Center where the flagship school, the Massachusetts Minutemen at 5-3, seek revenge on last year's loss to the Boys in Blue. Welcome inside our broadcast here on 91.1 WMUA Sports on YouTube. I'm Major Samaha, joined by my partner Dylan Kaminsky. And Dylan, UMass is reeling right now, searching for a third straight win.
Yeah, thanks, Andrew. Like you said, the Minutemen looking for that third win after their triumph over Harvard on Wednesday. They got the win, but after the win, Coach Martin wasn't exactly jumping for joy. There was a lot of sloppy moments in that game that culminated in UMass almost blowing a 20-point lead in the second half. In the post-game presser, Coach Martin emphasized two things defensively: limiting the ticky-tack hand check fouls and being disciplined in their zone defense. One of the reasons Harvard was able to claw their way back in the first place was because they could split UMass zones, and they were doing a really great job attacking Betty-All and DHS down low in the paint. If UMass wants to win today, I think they need to look for more man-to-man defense, of course led by Jaden Jenge.
Well, as for the Riverhawks, Pat Duquette's squad only returns one rotational player from last season, and it's safe to say it's been a big struggle for them to figure things out so far.
Yeah, you said it, Andrew. Not exactly a great first 9 games for Lowell. They were at 1-6 before winning their last 2, and this Kennedy Cup matchup could be a great opportunity for them to save their season and get back on track. When you look at this roster, I actually think it's kind of similar to UMass in the way that there's a lot of heavy minutes going to transfers. You even got some non-D1 transfers, and we know how much Frank Martin loves those D2 and D3 guys. However, unlike UMass, they just haven't quite been able to put it together. And if they want to win today, I think they're going to need to give more minutes to J.J. Massaquoi, their phenom freshman guard. He's leading the team in scoring while only being 6th on the team in minutes per game. That's just, to me, that's just a crazy stat right there.
Well, we're nearing tip-off here, just separated by the national anthem and starting lineups. So we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, it'll be Minutemen, it'll be the Riverhawks, and it's all here on 91.1 WMUA on our YouTube. I'd like to tell you that this broadcast is brought to you by 5 College Movers, the official sponsor of UMass men's basketball on 91.1 WMUA. What began as a small family idea has grown into a business with bright box trucks rolling across New England, delivering moves rooted in values that never go out of style. For over a decade, 5 College Movers has provided a personalized moving experience for every client and won't rest until the job is done. You can find information at movestress-free.com or on Instagram and Facebook at 5 College Movers. We thank 5 College Movers for their kind support. But we are just moments away from tip-off here as the PA announcer delivers the starting lineups, so we're going to get those to you. The starting lineups for the UMass Lowell Riverhawks today. At the guards, it'll be Daryl Yepto and Xavier Spencer alongside Jared Fry and JJ Massacoy. And at the 5 for the Riverhawks, it'll be Austin Green. As for the Massachusetts Minutemen, at the guards, it'll be Danny Carbuccia and Marcus Banks. At the 3, it's Jaden Jingay, and your big man combo today will be Daniel Hankins-Sanford and Leonardo Bettiol. Dylan, the starting lineup for the Minutemen has been pretty solid all year. Carbuccia has taken that starting spot from KJ Parker, and Parker's now a guy getting few minutes off the bench. What have you liked from Carbuccia so far?
Well, Carbuccia's done great, and you really can't say enough for a true freshman who I think this is his 3rd career start for the team this season at least. And I mean, he had 13 assists last game. That was 7th highest for a franchise, a team record. He's done a great job, and he has not been hiding from anybody on the court. He's just been driving to the paint, finding open guys, doing a great job. As far as the bench goes, we saw KJ Parker get a lot of time on the bench last game because he was in foul trouble early. I think if he can avoid those hand checks and avoid being in foul trouble, it might alleviate some of that pressure off of Carbuccia, and it might allow guys like Banks and Parker themselves to have a great game.
Yeah, KJ Parker had all those hand checks like you mentioned, and Frank Martin expressed all his frustration with him. Danny Carbuccia has been one of these freshmen for the Minutemen that has shined so much early on, and Frank Martin's not a guy who plays freshmen that often. In his whole tenure, you can go back dating to the start of his coaching career, he doesn't play freshmen that much. Jaden Jingay as a freshman is an outlier, and Danny Carbuccia has been an outlier. Carbuccia so far on the year, 6.9 points a game, 5.5 assists, and he's playing about 24 minutes a game. Like you mentioned, the 13 assists the other day. He's been a great job dishing the rock for the Minutemen this year. He's going to be a staple for years to come should he stick around in Amherst. And then as for UMass Lowell, you talked about him a little bit in the open. JJ Massacoy has been huge for the Riverhawks so far. They have just 3 wins on the year, and he's been a key contributor. Why? Last game they played against a D3 opponent in Emerson, and he did finish with 21 points in that 23-point victory. He's averaging 14.5 points on the season as a freshman. What do we need to see from Lowell and Massacoy to get this one done?
For Lowell to come out of here with the win, I think they're going to need to react to what UMass gives them, right? Obviously, UMass really relying on that zone defense in the last game, and it didn't quite work out. If UMass sticks with that zone, I would really love to see Lowell come out here and try and piece them up, get the ball moving to try and dice up that zone and find guys like Massacoy. Obviously, he's been doing a lot of ball handling, but I think that if Lowell can kind of stick him in his spot and move the ball around him and generate an open shot for him, that could be a way he really succeeds. He had 26 points against Wake Forest earlier this season, and I think that he could have a similar performance again tonight.
Well, both starting groups are out on the floor right now. The referees for today's game will be Jose Carrion, Tony Meeks, and Sutton Simon. UMass Lowell is wearing their road blues with white lettering and numbering and some red trimming along the sides. And for the Minutemen, they're in their home whites with maroon lettering and numbering and red trimming going down the sides. Daniel Hankins-Sanford and JJ Massacoy will meet at the Power U for the tip-off.
We got some very stylish uniforms today, Andrew.
Well, the referee is making sure. Sorry, that's Austin Green at the Power U for the tip-off, making sure he tucks his shirt in before the ball goes up. And the ball is up, and Green wins the tip-off, but Leonardo Bettiol comes away with it for the Minutemen, and Carbuccia will start us off up top. Guarded by Yepto, gets the screen from Banks. Carbuccia cross court to the left corner for Hankins-Sanford. Drives in against Massacoy, goes up, he misses the layup, and the rebound pulled away by Xavier Spencer.
That's one of those looks that DHS makes so often, just couldn't get it to fall that time.
Spencer on the other end through a little bit of contact, can't finish the layup. Rebound by the Minutemen. Carbuccia the other way, driving to his left, up over Fry. Fry gets a piece of it, and the rebound goes to Yepto, pushing it the other way. 2-on-2. Yepto, nice pass to Massacoy, who puts in the layup for the first points of the game. 2-0 Lowell.
And that offensive possession by UMass, you saw Danny Carbuccia drive and just come up short on the layup. He was doing that a lot with success last game, but Lowell able to stop him early.
Jaden Jingay backing down Fry on the right wing. One dribble, goes up with the hook shot and puts it in. And the Minutemen are on the board. Game tied up at 2, 1 minute played.
The last time these teams met, Jingay led the Minutemen in scoring. He had 17. That's a rare sight from him.
On the right wing, Spencer working on Banks, gets by him, draws the double from Hankins Sanford. The feed in low. Bettyall gets a hand on it, and Jingay comes away with the steal. Jingay up ahead to a wide open Hankins Sanford, who puts in the easy one-handed flush. And the Minutemen have a 4-2 lead.
That's one of those plays. If DHS was just a couple steps back, he could have slammed that with some authority. That would have been a highlight poster.
Yepto picks up his dribble just ahead of the U logo at midcourt and feeds it off to Green. Green working on Bettyall. Green going up with the left hand. He puts it in off the glass. Austin Green's first 2 of the night for the senior.
Boy, that's a tough bucket right there.
Hankins Sanford's hook, no good. Jaden Jingay fighting for the offensive rebound. Comes away with it and puts one in off the glass. 6-4 Minutemen lead.
And it's not long into this game before we see Jaden Jingay using that elite drive and elite motor to just crash the boards and get a second chance opportunity for UMass.
Just over 2 minutes in, UMass 6, Lowell 4. Massaquoi has it right wing, swings it over to the left side. Spencer driving, goes up against 2 UMass defenders. A lot of contact, no call. Carbuccia comes away with it. On the right wing, Carbuccia working on Green, gives it to Jingay. Nice feed in low to Bettyall, who goes around with it and puts it in. Leo Bettyall gives the Minutemen a 4-point lead.
Great IQ from Jingay there, not just on the offensive end, but on the defensive end, the prior possession, contesting, getting contact without a foul. It's a very savvy vet play.
And Leo Bettyall picks up a foul, trying to swipe at a pass to the hands of Austin Green. So Bettyall picks up the first foul of the game. Khalil Farmer will check in for Jared Fry for the Riverhawks. 17:26 left to go in the first half, 8-4 Minutemen lead. The big Massaquoi will be the inbounder. Stands at 6'6", 235. A big frame.
And this is kind of a smaller Lowell team, at least when you compare them to UMass, but they have a lot of evenly distributed size, a lot of guys at 6'6", 6'7", that are able to use that size to their advantage. There's really very few small players on this team.
Well, Yepto driving to his left pass. Carbuccia goes up and puts it up over a skying Daniel Hankins Sanford. That ball felt like it sat in the air for a while before it went straight through the net. 8-6. Carbuccia tries to get a pass in low to Hankins Sanford, who was held back by Massaquoi. And a foul called against the Riverhawks for the first time today.
And it almost feels like, Andrew, the refs have kind of been holding their whistles. At least the last couple possessions for Lowell, there's been some serious contact going up and just no call.
Well, Banks will be the inbounder. 17:02 to go in the first half. 8-6 Minutemen lead. Carbuccia inside to Bettyall, and that's going to be a push against Austin Green in low as Bettyall caught the pass right around the restricted area. So 2 quick fouls for Lowell in the span of about 5 or 6 seconds. And we're right back where we started. Marcus Banks inbounding from the baseline.
Just a nice play by Carbuccia there. He really put Bettyall in a position to be fouled and get some more time for UMass here.
Well, Carbuccia has it, gives it off to Banks, who will take a deep 2 off the front iron, no good. Bettyall, the offensive rebound, swinging it back around. Banks is open for 3. That's his spot. He can't hit, though, and the rebound falls to Xavier Spencer.
You rarely will see Marcus Banks miss 2 shots in the same possession from the same spot like that. He knows he can make those.
Well, Yepto has it now for Lowell the other way, guarded by Bettyall up top. Feeds it off to Farmer, guarded by Banks way out there on the left wing. Farmer swinging around to the right side for Xavier Spencer. Massaquoi coming with the screen. Jingay bit on it, wide open in the corner. Yepto for 3, no good. And Jingay corrals his second rebound of the game. Jingay gets the screen from Bettyall, driving in. Jingay's going to rise up from the elbow. That shot falls off to the left side, and Yepto grabs the rebound for Lowell.
It's a good move by Jingay to free up some space for the shot. Just unfortunately couldn't get it to drop.
Yepto driving on Jingay, rises up and puts in the floater. Daryl Yepto ties us up with it at 8 with his second bucket of the game.
Yepto, a real baller. He was on a D3 team last year, St. Michael's.
And a nice entry pass by Leo Bettyall into Hankins Sanford, who puts it in for 2. Hankins Sanford up to 4 points, and the Minutemen up 10-8. Cross midcourt, Xavier Spencer, guarded by Marcus Banks. Tries to feed it to Green, couldn't get it there, deflected by Bettiol, but ends up in the hands of Yepto.
Good recovery by Lowell to not give it away.
Yepto's sideline jumper, no good. Rebounded by Banks. KJ Parker set to check in at the next whistle for the Minutemen. Hinkin Sanford on the right wing, entry pass to Leo Bettiol, who is fouled on the floor by Austin Green. And that'll take us to the under 16 media timeout. We'll stay here for a moment. 15-12 left to go in the first half, but we're going to go to our reporter, James Pacell, for a couple stats from last game.
Thanks, Andrew. UMass enters the matchup with UMass Lowell in a 3-out of 1 of their sharpest games of the season against Harvard. 78 points led by Marcus Banks Jr. Banks had 29 points, 10 of 9. 19 5 of 9. Leonardo Bettiol added 18 points and 5 rebounds. Jin and Jingay filled with 10 points, 6 boards, and 4 assists, like an interior defense. Minutemen shot 51% from the floor, and strong game scoring, balanced proficiency, and into the rivalry. Let's see what happens. Back to you guys.
Well, thanks, James. We'd like to remind you that this broadcast is brought to you by 5 College Movers, the official sponsor of UMass men's basketball on 91.1 WMUA. What began as a small family idea has grown into a business with bright box trucks rolling across New England, delivering moves rooted in values that never go out of style. For over a decade, 5 College Movers has provided a personalized moving experience for every client and won't rest until the job is done. You can find information at movestress-free.com or on Instagram and Facebook at 5 College Movers. We thank 5 College Movers for their kind support. Well, Dylan, 10-8 early on, 15-12 to go in the first half. It's been pretty back and forth so far.
Yeah, it has, and I like that UMass hasn't really been relying on any one player. We've seen shot attempts from Carbuccia, DHS, Bettiol, Banks, and they've been spreading the wealth. They've been doing a great job moving the ball around, not relying overly on any one guy, which is kind of what we have seen at times this season with Banks. A lot of UMass's games have been dependent on if his three-point shot is falling or not. So, it's nice to see that we have the lead, even though he's been off to a bit of a slow start in these first 5 minutes.
Well, UMass has looked for a lot of paint touches early on, trying to use their size against Lowell. But we're set to inbound now. KJ Parker into the game for the first time, in for Danny Carbuccia. He will inbound from the baseline into Hankin Sanford. Swings it around back up top. Parker's got it, guarded by Yepto. Parker to the right block for Bettiol, spinning, working on Okoji. Bettiol goes up with the hook. That rolls around the rim and falls out. Jingay hustling for the rebound, pokes it out of bounds, and Lowell will gain possession.
That's about the 4th time already I think UMass has fed Bettiol in that low post. They're really, I know I said they've been doing a good job spreading the wealth, but they've kind of been leaning on him a little bit here.
Yepto up top to Farmer. Farmer hands off to Spencer. Spencer picks up his dribble, looking for somewhere to go with it, and he'll swing it back up top to Yepto. Yepto guarded by Banks. Thought about a step-back three, but thought better. Swinging it around now, Khalil Farmer up top, guarded by Parker. Gets a screen from Mascoy. 5 on the shot clock. Farmer driving in. His layup, reverse, way off the glass. Hankin Sanford gathers the rebound. Parker driving, working on Farmer. Kicks it out to Hankin Sanford at top of the key. Hankin Sanford will shoot from the elbow. An awkward turnaround jump shot, but he still gets it to fall, and Hankin Sanford, the leading scorer of the game, up to 6 now.
And that was very disciplined defense by J.J. Massaquoi there. DHS did not get him to bite at all with that little shimmy, but it didn't matter. Shot still went in for DHS.
Well, 14 minutes to go. 12-8 is the Minutemen lead. Spencer will pull from just beyond the free throw line. No good. And Banks the rebound for the Minutemen. Banks up the floor. Gets a screen from Bettiol, working to his left. Kicks it to the right wing for Parker. Parker working to the baseline. He's just going to float this one to nobody. And J.J. Massaquoi has a free steal for the Riverhawks, going the other way. Tries to go right at Banks, and Hankin Sanford with the help defense swats it away. Long rebound, though, for Spencer, who pulls it back out with 20 on the clock.
Great readjustment by DHS just to get in front of the ball and make a block right there.
Khalil Farmer is going to shoot a deep three from the left wing and buries it. First three-pointer of the game for either team. puts the Riverhawks within 1, and quickly up the other way. Parker ahead to DHS, and Hankins Sanford is up to 8 points now as he puts in another easy layup inside.
Some quick scoring from both sides. That was a nice three by Khalil Farmer for Lowell. He's shooting over 40% on the season. UMass is going to have to watch out for him.
14-11, UMass lead, and an offensive foul as Yepto pushed off of Banks. And a turnover for the Riverhawks will bring in a couple Minutemen subs. Danny Carbuccia in for Marcus Banks, and Hankins Sanford and Jingay will also check out for DJ Wimbley and Dimitri Clerk. So the Minutemen 5 on the floor is Carbuccia, Wimbley, Parker, Bettyall, and Clerk, as there's a stop and play as the refs really making sure every player's got their shirts tucked in. Bettyall, the victim that time of the referees. As a Lowell substitution, Angel Montas Jr. will check in for Xavier Spencer. And, wow, this ref is very proper, making...
Yeah, you know, Andrew, I was going to say, I never really understood that rule. I mean, it kind of seems like if they all untucked, they would all just play better, like Kyrie Irving.
Well, this time Angel Montas was forced to go all the way to the scores table to check in. Wasn't allowed to just pop off the bench. But we resume play now with Carbuccia guarded by Yepto on the right wing. Tries feeding it into Bettyall, who was wrestled to the ground on the entry pass. And another foul on the floor against the Riverhawks. This one on J.J. Massacoy, who picks up his second. So 12:51 to go in the first half. 5 fouls on the Riverhawks, just 1 on the Minutemen. And Massacoy with 2 early fouls will head to the bench. And Jarrell Roberson II will check in for the first time today for Lowell.
Those 2 fouls for Massacoy still pretty early into this game. That might play a huge role later on in the stretch.
Well, a couple passes that almost go rogue, but Carbuccia still has it after the inbound. Getting the screen from Clerk up top, Carbuccia working to his right. Carbuccia at about the MAC logo in the paint now. He's going to fade away. That shot falls short. Yepto the rebound.
That is not the shot that Frank Martin wants in that situation.
Yepto up ahead. Khalil Farmer over Clerk. His layup no good, and Bettyall pulls away a strong rebound. Carbuccia to KJ Parker in the right corner. Up top, Bettyall. The entry pass to Clerk, poked away by Roberson right off the bench, gets the early steal.
A little role reversal there. Bettyall at the top of the key trying to dish it into the paint. Usually the other way around there.
Khalil Farmer pump fake, going to step into a mid-range jumper, and he knocks it down. 2 jump shots made by Khalil Farmer. He's up to 5 points. And the Riverhawks just down by 1 now as we near the 12-minute mark. KJ Parker, top of the key to Dwayne Wimbley. Wimbley looking for somewhere to go with it. He's going to give just back to Parker on the right wing, who travels with it. And the 3rd turnover of the game for the Minutemen will take us to the under-12 media timeout. But we're going to pass it down to our reporter, Karen Snow, who's going to tell us a story from the Harvard game.
This broadcast is brought to you by 5 College Movers, the official sponsor of UMass men's basketball on 91.1 WMUA. What began as a small family idea has grown into a business with bright box trucks rolling across New England, delivering moves rooted in values that never go out of style. For over a decade, 5 College Movers has provided a personalized moving experience for every client and won't rest until the job is done. You can find information at movestressfree.com or on Instagram and Facebook at 5 College Movers. We thank 5 College Movers for their kind support.
Well, we're going to step away for just a moment here. UMass 14, UMass Lowell 13, 11:49 to go in the first half. Almost ready to get right back underway here as Victor Okoji will inbound from the sideline for the Riverhawks. He gets it into Daryl Yepto, and we are back from the media timeout. Yepto, Farmer, Okoji, Montas, and Roberson is the Riverhawk 5. Farmer has it and gives it over to Yepto on the left wing, and after pivoting for a little bit, Yepto's just going to pull a three, and he knocks it down to give the Riverhawks a 2-point lead out of the timeout, 16-14.
Pure fundamentals by Yepto right there, just making space in a phone booth.
KJ Parker over to Wembley on the left elbow. Wembley gives off to KJ Parker, driving to his left. Parker gives it back up top to Clerk, who hands off to Carbuccia and gives him a screen. Carbuccia thought about a three. Nice drive inside. Gets a body in the air, and he's fouled and will go to the line to shoot two.
And Carbuccia, on one drive, got two guys to jump with the pump fake. First on a little hezzy move, and then second as he was under the rim. Great play by Carbuccia there, getting both defenders in the air.
Carbuccia has been an exceptional freshman for the Minutemen this year, but he has only been to the free throw line. This is his fourth trip here, and it has not been pretty. He just missed the first there. Now he is 2 for 7 on the season from the free throw line, which for those keeping track at home, that is 28% so far.
It's honestly pretty surprising, Andrew, that he shoots so few free throws for someone that drives to the paint as much as he does.
Well, he's able to knock in the second one, so make it 3 for 8 on the year and 1 for 2 on the day to cut the Minutemen lead down to 1, 16-15, 11 minutes to go. Yepto passes it inside to Okoji, almost turned it over, but somehow able to stay with it with 4 Minutemen hands in there. Yepto spins, driving in, kicks it out. Okoji with a deep three off the glass, no good. KJ Parker the rebound.
Okoji almost got bailed out by the backboard right there.
Wembley hands off to Hankins Sanford in the left corner. Hankins Sanford back up top to Carbuccia. Gets a screen. Carbuccia, left wing, three. Off the rim, no good. Wembley fighting for the rebound, but Roberson comes away with it. Up ahead, Farmer hands off to Roberson, who is not ready for it, but stays with it. Driving in now, kicking to the right wing. What a pass by Montas to Yepto, no good. And a alley-oop, or excuse me, a putback dunk by Gerald Roberson, who stumbles to the floor on his way back up. Daniel Hankins Sanford now in the paint, answers with an and one. What a stretch that was, Dylan.
What a sequence. I mean, first of all, the put-back finish by Gerald Roberson was just absolutely beautiful, and UMass Lowell playing great in transition, getting him in that spot to make that putback. Just what a play.
Well, Daniel Hankins Sanford will head to the free throw line to try to tie the game now. 18-17, the Riverhawks lead. I mean, talk about a guy that has struggled from the free throw line this season. Daniel Hankins Sanford just 55% on the year. He misses. Jinge almost had the offensive rebound, but couldn't hang on to it. It goes out of bounds, and the Riverhawks get the ball back.
Number 6,
Isaiah Walter checking in for the first time, replacing Yepto, and Khalil Farmer will head to the bench, and Xavier Spencer enters for the Riverhawks once again.
Isaiah Walter for Lowell, one of the only returning players, one of 3 returning players on this roster, and likely the only one that we'll see get minutes tonight.
Well, 10 minutes to go in the first half. 17-18 Riverhawks lead. Montas has it. Kicks to the corner. Walter, there he is for 3. That shot no good. And the fight for the loose ball, and Xavier Spencer comes away with it. Dribbles back out to the right corner, drives in. Kicks it to Montas, and Montas is fouled. And we'll head to the free throw line.
Montas really picking up his game in these last couple possessions. First with that acrobatic circus pass that set up the putback by Gerald Robertson on the previous possession. And now another nice pass, good ball movement, ends up in him shooting 2 at the free throw line.
Well, Betty all picked up the foul, so that'll be his second personal. And Dwayne Wembley is at the scorer's table set to check in. Angel Montas Jr.'s first free throw is good. And right on cue, DJ Wembley will check out Leo Bettiol with 2 fouls. Angel Montas this year averaging 4.5 points a game, 40% from the free throw line on the year, but knocks in both to give the Riverhawks a 3-point lead with 9:45 to go. Jinge has it. Left wing, hands off to DJ Wembley. Swinging it around right wing to Marcus Banks. Back up top now, Hankins Sanford hands to Banks, trying to free up Banks, who has it poked away from him, They're going to call it out of bounds. Last touch by Banks. And Banks stunned by the call. The UMass Lowell bench getting up and being loud about it. But
yeah, and this is what happens when UMass Lowell is playing that good press defense. The only guy that can get space on the three-point line is DHS, and when he's there, he just seems like he doesn't quite know what to do.
well, Koji has it now for the Riverhawks. 9:20 to play. Angel Montas up top driving on DJ Wimbley now at the right block, and DJ Wimbley gets his arms tangled with Montas. And this will likely be 2 more free throws coming up for the junior.
The UMass foul is on number 2, Dwayne Wimbley. That's his first, team's third.
Angel Montas spent the last 2 years on different teams. He was a redshirt freshman 2 years ago at Fordham. Last year he played at Mercer, where he had a lot of meaningful minutes. He had a career-high 18 over there. In high school, he was a 3-time player of the year. This is a guy who has really been around the block and really gotten it done.
Well, he misses his first free throw here. His second one also no good. So after making both free throws his last trip, he goes 0 for 2 this time, and Hankins Sanford pulls away the rebound. And Jingay has it up ahead now for the Minutemen. Carbuccia, top of the key, fades away from the screen from Hankins Sanford, gives it to a driving Jaden Jingay, and with the backdoor cut, steps out of bounds, and it'll be a Minutemen turnover.
Oh, man, that was just a couple inches away from being a great cut by Jingay. Maybe if he was just a few shoe sizes smaller, there would be an extra 2 points for UMass.
Well, Xavier Spencer bobbles the ball a little bit, trying to feed it to Roberson. He turns it over. Up ahead, Jingay to Wimbley. Wimbley going right at Spencer, and the freshman converts the tough layup, and Carbuccia will force a turnover now, as Xavier Spencer wasn't expecting the pressure on the inbound, and he forced him to lose it out of bounds. And UMass, back-to-back turnovers forced against Xavier Spencer.
And
down by 1.
Back-to-back great plays from the young guys here. First, DJ Wimbley getting that tough bucket through the contact, and then you have Carbuccia coming up with the steal, really showing Frank Martin a reason to be confident in these young guys.
Well, Carbuccia has it, working on the screen from Jingay, driving. Gives it to Hankins Sanford, left block, working on Jarrell Roberson. Hankins Sanford gets to his spot, fades away, can't knock down the shot, and Xavier Spencer grabs the rebound. 8:30 to go, Minutemen 19, Riverhawks 20. Xavier Spencer, left corner, working on Hankins Sanford, will just reset up top with Montas. Montas driving to his right, goes right at Wimbley and Hankins Sanford, and Wimbley brought his arms down again. That'll be his second time getting tangled up with Montas for his second personal. Oh, wow, they're going to call it on Hankins Sanford. So I take back what I said. That'll be the first on Hankins Sanford, and Montas back at the line for 2.
You know, if you're going to send a guy to the free throw line 3 times in such a short span, it's probably not terrible that it's Montas.
Well, there it is, the first free throw, no good. So 2 for 5 on the day now is Montas, as Jaden Jingay and Danny Carbuccia will head to the bench. Luka Damjanec and KJ Parker checking in. Montas' second free throw is good. So make it 3 for 6 on the day. And the Riverhawks lead 21-19 with 8:15 to go. Parker up top, gives it to Marcus Banks on the right wing. Up top for Hankins Sanford, to the left wing for Parker. KJ Parker driving to his left, will step back with a jumper. That shot a bit strong. Nice tip out by Damjanec. Banks has it left wing, wide open in the left corner is KJ Parker, and he's unable to convert. Xavier Spencer the rebound.
And that is a huge missed opportunity for Parker, not just because of the points left on the board, but also he is kind of yet to find his rhythm in this game. That could have gotten him going.
And Xavier Spencer steps on the sideline for his 4th turnover of the game, which will take us to the under 8 media timeout with 7:45 to go in the first half. The Minutemen lead, or trail, 19-21 to the Riverhawks. But we're going to give it off to our reporter, James Pacell, to tell us more about some stats.
Before the Minutemen take on Boston College in the Mass Mutual Center, December 10th at 7 p.m. Head on over to tap starting at 4:30 p.m. for the Old
the battle overall.
Well, thanks, James. We're going to step away for a moment here, and we'll be right back here on WMUA on YouTube. Well, welcome back to this broadcast of UMass basketball, which is brought to you by the 5 College Movers, the official sponsor of UMass men's basketball on 91.1 WMUA. What began as a small family idea has grown into a business with values, rooted in values that never go away. For over a decade, 5 College Movers has provided a personalized moving experience for every client and won't rest until the job is done. You can find information at movestress-free.com or on Instagram and Facebook at 5 College Movers. And we thank the 5 College Movers for their kind support. 21-19, the Riverhawks up by 2 as we resume play. Under 8 minutes to go in the first half. KJ Parker has it up top, frees himself up for a 3. His shot is good. And KJ Parker on the board for the first time today gives the Minutemen the lead.
Yeah, and hopefully that'll be that confidence boost that I was just talking about he missed out on. Got a second chance at it, and he cashed in.
Walter gives it off to Yepto on the left wing, hounded by Marcus Banks. Gets the screen from Roberson. Yepto, the leading scorer for the Riverhawks with 7, hands it off to Spencer on the right wing. Yepto, left wing, gets Marcus Banks to jump. Wide open, Xavier Spencer for 3, top of the key, no good. Offensive rebound for Okoji, who is fouled and will go to the line to shoot 2.
And that play was really made possible by Daryl Yepto. He's been doing a lot of the primary ball handling for Lowell, and he's been doing a great job setting up guys. He got a defender to bite and then immediately found a wide open Xavier Spencer. And although he couldn't cash in the 3, still leads to 2 free throws.
Well, Victor Okoji, a 58% free throw shooter on the season. The freshman from Castlebar, Ireland, misses the first. His second is good. So we're all knotted up at 22 now, with 7 minutes to play, as KJ Parker will cross the timeline and hand to Hankin Sanford. Banks, right wing. Shockingly still held quiet today. 0 points for the Minutemen's leading scorer. Parker, free throw line, jumper, knocks it down. 5 in a row for KJ Parker, and the UMass Minutemen lead by 2.
You know, I think Lowell might have been preparing so much for DHS and Banks and Betty all that they forgot about Parker. He's a guy that can really make it rain.
Right corner, Walter has it, guarded by Wembley. Working to his left, kicks it out to Yepto on the left wing. Yepto back to Walter, right wing, and he travels with it. And UMass will gain possession on the 7th Lowell turnover.
Always hard to tell when there's traveling on those quick little jab step rip through moves where they catch the ball and just take off at 100 miles an hour. That case, though, I think it was a travel. There's been a lot of that this game so far. Obviously, we had one called on UMass earlier, but it's going to be something to keep an eye on.
Well, with that travel from Walter, he will head to the bench, and Khalil Farmer will check in for him. Pat Duquette not hesitating to make that substitution. Damjanec up top, and a foul in low as a fight for positioning between Okoji and Hankin Sanford. The foul will go on Okoji. So that's Okoji's 3rd of the first half, just the 8th on the Riverhawks. And now Hankin Sanford will go to the line for a 1-and-1. We mentioned earlier, just a 55% shooter on the year, missed his first earlier. His front end of the 1-and-1, no good once again. And Khalil Farmer grabs the rebound.
Lowell leaving a lot of points on the board. That's something UMass has done this year. Just not cashing in at the free throw line, but seems to affect both teams tonight.
The long arms of Wembley poke the ball out of bounds away from Farmer, but it will stay with the Riverhawks. Massaquoi checking in for Okoji with those 3 fouls, but Massaquoi coming in with 2 for himself, so he's got to be careful. And with that, Jaden Jinge will check in for DJ Wembley.
If I was UMass here, I would be looking to maybe get, obviously Bettyall isn't in the game, but maybe feed Damjanec down in the paint, generate contact with Massaquoi, get that guy out of this game. He's too big of a scoring threat to just be left alone.
Well, UMass playing more of an extended 3-2 zone right now to keep the ball off the perimeter. Xavier Spencer has it, swings it over to Yepto, left wing. Working on Parker, kicks it back out to Spencer, top of the key. To the corner, Yepto's gonna quick trigger 3, blocked by Hankins Sanford, but they're gonna call a foul on him on the way down. And Hankins Sanford picking up a second foul, and just an unfortunate call to go against the Minutemen. He had that shot blocked. Just on the arm swipe down, picks up the foul.
Man, just a couple inches away from a really great 3-point block by DHS. His defensive presence obviously is something this team really values, but in this game today, it just feels like it hasn't quite been there.
Well, Yepto puts in the first free throw. He averages just 8.5 points a game. He's already up to 8 today. He's the 3rd leading scorer for the Riverhawks on the season. He misses the second.
Number 2, Dwayne Wembley into the game for UMass.
And with Hankins Sanford's second foul, he will check out, and DJ Wembley will come right back in off the bench to replace him. Should be notable to remind you that Isaiah Placid missing his 2nd game in a row with an injury that has not been quite disclosed. As Yepto's 3rd free throw is in, so he goes 2 for 3 from the line to put the Riverhawks all tied up with the Minutemen at 24 with 5:35 to go. Parker, top of the key, working on Yepto. From the free throw line, spinning his jump shot, and it bounces around the rim a few times and makes its way in. Up to 7 points now is KJ Parker off the bench.
That was just pure bag work by KJ Parker right there. You know, get a guy off his balance and attack.
Yepto, nice move to get into the paint, puts in the layup, and he's into double digits with 11 points now. The game's leading scorer, and we're tied back up at 26. Parker gets the screen from Damjanec, feeds it to him, driving in. Damjanec going to work. His shot from the post is good, and Damjanec has his first points of the game to give the Minutemen the lead back. Back and forth we go.
Great awareness by Damjanec not to lift his pivot foot. It was almost a travel. You could see the Lowell bench wanted one, but they didn't get it.
And Yepto a bit loose with the ball. Jaden Jinge with the double team steal. Driving in, goes right at Massaquoi. The left-handed layup, no good. And fight for the rebound. They're going to call a foul on Damjanec. And Gerald Robertson, the second, will be heading to the free throw line for a 1-and-1.
And you could tell Jinge just wanted to push the pace and get an attack on the rim, but he had some guys trailing. That might have not been the right decision to make in that situation.
Well, Gerald Robertson will head to the free throw line today. 8 minutes off the bench. He's got 2 points and 2 rebounds on the day. Not somebody who has played too many minutes for Lowell this year. Just 10 minutes per game and has only played in 7 of their 8 games.
Yeah, it's a bit of a surprise to see him get this much usage in the early goings here, but he's done a good job. Obviously, he had that monster highlight putback.
Well, his front end of the 1-and-1 is no good, and the Minutemen pull in the rebound. So 4:30 left. The Minutemen lead by 2, 28-26. Banks has it, still scoreless today. A bit loose with it on his handoff to Parker, but Parker able to stick with it. Damjanec to Wembley. Wembley just beyond the free throw line, he'll pull, no good, and an over-the-back call goes against Luka Damjanec on the rebound. I mean, no need for that foul. He was sealed away, not grabbing that rebound.
Yeah, seriously, you said it. And UMass coming into this game, they're 323rd in fouls committed. That's not good, folks. Coach Frank Martin in the post-game presser last game was talking about those ticky-tack hand check fouls. And while that wasn't a hand check, it was kind of in the same vein of just not quite having your hands in the right spot. Damjanec was trying to swipe that rebound down and just got a little bit too comfortable.
Well, Robertson misses another front end of the 1-and-1, and it's tipped out of bounds, so UMass will gain possession. Luckily for the Minutemen, those 2 Damjanec fouls cost them nothing, but Frank really expressed his frustration with Damjanac as he got pulled, and Dimitri Clerk checked right in for him. So the UMass 5 is Parker, Banks, Jingay, Wimbley, and Clerk. And for the Riverhawks, it's Yepto, Spencer, Roberson, Farmer, and Massaquoi. Banks has it, top of the key, 17 on the shot clock. He's going to pull a deep three out of nowhere, no good. DJ Wimbley, the long rebound. Jaden Jingay, right corner, spins into the paint. His hook shot falls in after rolling around the rim. And Jingay's up to 6 points now, and the Minutemen lead is 4.
Jingay's really been attacking the rim in this first half. That was a bit of a lucky play by Marcus Banks to get the long rebound off the missed three, but regardless, ends up in UMass points.
Well, 3:35 to go. Minutemen up by 4. Yepto a little careless with it. The pass goes through the legs of Roberson, stolen away by the Minutemen. Up ahead, Banks is on the board now as he puts in the layup. And the Minutemen are up by 6, and Pat Duquette has seen enough. He calls a timeout as the Minutemen lead by 6. And Dylan, what a stretch for the Minutemen.
Seriously, it's been an amazing stretch here on both ends. They've been forcing Yepto. If he's going to be the primary ball handler, UMass is saying, all right, beat us then. We're going to hit you with double teams. We're going to play high on-ball defense with Jaden Jingay. We're going to pick you up at the power U. We're not going to let you get anything. And it's been working. Obviously, Yepto leading Lowell in scoring, but these past few possessions, UMass has done a great job to limit him and extend this lead to 6.
Well, the 30-second timeout by Pat Duquette will turn into a full media timeout here with 3:27 to play. UMass 32, UMass Lowell 26. We'll be right back on WMUA. Welcome back to men's basketball here on WMUA on our YouTube page. 3:27 to play in the first half. 32-26 is the score. And the Minutemen just went on a little 6-0 run in the last minute and a half. But even before that run, Dylan, KJ Parker had a little run of his own, and he's clearly earned the minutes over Carbuccia in this first half.
Yeah, KJ Parker was really jujuing on that beat in this game. He's been hitting some shots. He's got a couple threes, or got the three to fall that really got his confidence back up. And once that first shot fell, it was just downhill from there.
And well, UMass with a half-court trap and a 1-2-2 press. But Lowell, after a close call, able to break it. A feed inside to Roberson. Goes up over Jingay, and that's an easy 2 points for Roberson, as Jingay was giving up about 5 inches there. And Lowell now down by 4.
Roberson at 6'9", the tallest player on this Lowell roster.
KJ Parker, quick trigger three, he's got it. KJ Parker, 10 points. And the Minutemen go back up by 7 with 2:50 to go.
And when you have Marcus Banks only with 2 points, Danny Carbuccia, obviously, as we know, hasn't quite come into his own as a scorer yet. Having KJ Parker hit those threes, especially with Placid out, it just makes all the difference in the world.
Well, left wing Xavier Spencer holding the ball for a while now. As 12 seconds on the shot clock, he'll make his move. Going right at Dimitri Clerk. KJ Parker back on him. Swings it back out to Farmer on the left wing. Gets the screen from Roberson, and Farmer driving right at Dimitri Clerk. Gets called for a little hand check foul, and Khalil Farmer will head to the free throw line.
Coach Martin not too happy about that one. I always wonder, at what point will the refs award a technical for him being out onto the court? because he kind of came out like around like 5 or 6 feet onto the court that time. I know a lot of, if you don't have Frank Martin's reputation as a coach, that might be a technical.
Well, Khalil Farmer cashes in on the first free throw as Frank Martin not quite done expressing his frustrations at Clark yet. Farmer's second free throw also good. And UMass now up by 5 versus Lowell, 2:20 to go in the first half. KJ Parker has it, gets the screen from Clark. Parker's just going to pull the three. Feet in the hot hand. No, his shot no good, but Clark tips it back out to him. Clark's going to be rewarded in the paint. The left block, he goes up. That shot no good. Fight for the rebound. Wembley almost came away with it, but stepped out of bounds. And Lowell gains possession as Damjanec will pop off the bench for the Minutemen.
Just an errant shot there by Dimitri Clark. He had his back to the rim when he went up, and Frank Martin is going to take him out of the game for it.
Well, I'm not sure I've ever quite seen what just happened right there in that exchange with Damjanec, Clark, and Frank Martin. But regardless, Clark is now on the bench, and Damjanec is checked in. Yepto has it at the power U, as Pat Duquette will direct the offense. Just under 2 minutes to play in the first half. Guarded by Wembley, up to the free throw line for Massaquoi, who's backing down Banks. He goes up over Banks, shot no good, grabs his own miss, and is fouled hard on it and hits the deck. And Massaquoi will head to the free throw line.
The UMass foul is on number 24, Marcus Banks.
Massaquoi and Austin Green for Lowell have been leading their team in scoring, and they're respectively, Massaquoi is 5th and Green is 6th in the America East Conference in scoring. But tonight, just 4 points between the two of them, not what Lowell wants to win.
Well, a big airballed free throw there from Massaquoi has the Riverhawks now at 8 for 16 on the day. The 17th free throw of the game off the back rim, no good, and the Riverhawks just not able to convert from the line today, making 8 for 17. Below 50% now as they still trail by 5.
Andrew, this is the 3rd game I've called this year, and that's the 3rd airball free throw I've seen.
Marcus Banks, top of the key three. He's somebody who's got to get himself going. And the Minutemen now lead by 8 on the assist from Jinge.
Huge shot, and it just adds so much to your offense when you have multiple guys that are three-point threats in any given game.
Khalil Farmer now over to Spencer. Right wing three. Spencer unable to answer. Massaquoi the rebound. He goes back up, no good. And Betty all fighting off Roberson. Grabs the rebound, and Roberson picks up the foul as he was holding on to one of Betty all's arms.
Number 15, Terrell Roberson. That's his first. Team's 9th.
And Betty-All will head to the free throw line for the first time today. It's been a quiet Leonardo Betty-All day. He's been somebody the Minutemen have relied heavily on today, but just 2 points early on.
Yeah, and UMass obviously has been succeeding a lot with that outside and mid-range shooting, so Betty-All hasn't been quite as needed in this one, but an underrated thing from him, he's only had 1 turnover in this first half. He's had a problem with the turnovers this year, and if he can kind of keep a lid on that in the second half, it doesn't matter if he's scoring or not. That's just so valuable for the team.
Well, he knocks down the first free throw to give them a 9-point lead, 39-30, 1:10 to go. UMass from the free throw line today just 2 for 5, but Betty-All's second also good. And for some offense-defense leverage, Leo Betty-All will check out after his free throws, and Dimitri Clark will check back in. So Frank Martin making sure Betty-All doesn't pick up a cheap 3rd foul before the half. And we have our first double-digit lead of the game, UMass 40, Riverhawks 30, as a press met at half court, almost turned over by Yepto. Farmer bails him out, but Jaden Jinge hounding Farmer, forces the turnover, and Farmer trips him up on his way up the floor. So Jinge will head to the free throw line. And Jinge on the defensive end today, Dylan, has just been a huge piece for the Minutemen.
Yeah, just unrelentless motor, and coming when Lowell advanced past the half court, Jinge just shot out of a cannon straight towards the ball, and he didn't get it immediately, but he stuck with it. And it's that perseverance and that motor that really is what makes him so valuable as a defensive player.
Well, Jinge's first free throw from the line is good, so he's up to 7 points now. His season high came on Wednesday against Harvard with just 10, but that's the type of player he is. Like I said, endless motor, defensive hound. He's got 7 points to go with 4 assists and 4 steals on the day in his 14 minutes. And his second free throw also good to give the Minutemen a 12-point lead with just under a minute left in the half.
That's 8 points for Jinge in this first half. I think he breaks his season scoring record.
Spencer in low, double team, gets it out to Massaquoi. Massaquoi back to Spencer, and Spencer fouled on the way up. So give Spencer 2 free throws now, and Dimitri Clerk picking up his second foul.
That's his second in the penalty. Number 11, Xavier Spencer at the line to shoot.
Xavier Spencer, one of the Riverhawks that shoots a good clip from the free throw line this year, 77% on the year. Or excuse me, 81%. He knocks in his first free throw to make it 42-31.
Replacing Dimitri Clerk.
And folks, Frank Martin has cycled through Bedial, Clerk, Damjanitz, back to Bedial, all within the span of about 2 minutes here.
Well, Spencer knocks in both free throws.
Number 15, Terrell Roberson into the
As
game for
Frank
Lowell.
Martin, he's using it as leverage on offense to get his best big men in on offense, and then when he gets the chance to take Bedial out with the 2 fouls to make sure he doesn't pick up that third one before the half.
Smart coaching, really smart coaching.
So 42-32, 40 seconds left in the first half, 15-second difference between the shot and game clock. So KJ Parker almost loses it, but sticks with it. Marcus Banks has it up top now. Banks working on Khalil Farmer, gets it inside to Bedial at the restricted area. He'll go up with the hook shot, and that rolls off, no good. And Yepto has it, and Lowell will likely hold for the final shot with 20 seconds to go in the half.
And Parker not letting up, still challenging Yepto out at that power U. Now he'll back off a bit, let that game clock wind down.
Well, we're down to 8 seconds now. Yepto still hasn't made his move. Make it 5 on the clock. Yepto driving in, gets right by Parker, passes it to nobody, and a bad turnover for Lowell will prompt a Frank Martin timeout. He will call his use it or lose it timeout in the first half. So he'll get 1.8 seconds to try and draw up some sort of play, likely for Marcus Banks Jr. to head into the half with even more momentum. And Dylan, I don't know if you remember a couple weeks back against Central Connecticut State where Marcus Banks Jr. had one of the wildest half-court buzzer beaters that we've seen in UMass history. So maybe try and something up like that to keep Marcus Banks going into the second half. But what would you do in this position?
Absolutely. I would try, and obviously they're going to get a chance to advance the ball up, and 2 seconds is plenty of time for this team to work with. It also helps that they were just shown exactly what not to do with a winding game clock and one shot to get off. Lowell just complete disaster on that last possession. Yepto drove into the paint, passed to a guy he thought was there. There was just nobody there. Fan in the second row caught that one.
Well, the Minutemen 5 to break the huddle will be KJ Parker, Marcus Banks Jr., DJ Wimbley, Leonardo Bedial, and Jaden Jinge will inbound from beyond half court. So a tall task for the Minutemen to get a quality shot off here, but Jaden Jinge will inbound. He's got it. They're working to get something for Banks. It's there, but Jinge missed the pass, deflected off of Banks' hands and out of bounds. So we'll likely see something similar the other way. Inbounding from almost the exact same spot will Lowell be with 1.3 on the clock beyond half court. UMass pressing here, and Yepto will just throw up a 3/4 court shot off the top of the glass. And that'll take us to the end of the first half. 42 for the Minutemen, 32 for the UMass Lowell Riverhawks. As Dylan, what was the big takeaways from the first half?
Well, in the last game against Harvard, UMass, like we mentioned, struggled playing their zone defense a lot. I think tonight they've done a great job getting that zone back under control, and they haven't been relying on it as much. We've been seeing some more man-to-man matchups and a lot of press as well and trapping guys at half court. Obviously, Jinge a couple possessions ago had that big steal where he just shot out and was able to drive to the rim and get some points. I think that if UMass wants to keep a hold on this lead, they need to keep playing that style of defense, not relying too much on the man or the zone, but rather a healthy blend of both.
Well, we'll see what's in store for us in the second half, but before we head there, we're going to remind you that this broadcast is brought to you by the 5 College Movers, the official sponsor of UMass men's basketball on 91.1 WMUA. What began as a small family idea has grown into a business with bright box trucks rolling across New England, delivering moves rooted in values that never go out of style. For over a decade, 5 College Movers has provided a personalized moving experience for every client and won't rest until the job is done. You can find information at movestress-free.com or on Instagram and Facebook at 5 College Movers. We thank 5 College Movers for their kind support. But we're going to step away for halftime. In case you haven't been with us the whole way. I'm Andrew Samaha, joined by Dylan Kaminsky, and we'll be back in the second half. Minutemen leading the Riverhawks by 10. Well, we check in for halftime. Just to remind you guys that this broadcast is brought to you by 5 Village Movers. the official sponsor of UMass men's basketball on 91.1 WMUA. What began as a small family idea has grown into a business with bright box trucks rolling across New England, delivering moves rooted in values that never go out of style. For over a decade, 5 College Movers has provided a personalized moving experience for every client and won't rest until the job is done. You can find information at movestress-free.com or on Instagram and Facebook at 5 College Movers. We thank 5 College Movers for their kind support. Well, just 8.5 minutes until we get back underway in the second half. Stick with us. We're going to step aside once again here on 91.1 WMUA. Well, welcome back to UMass men's basketball here on 91.1 WMUA. Here just moments away from the second half getting underway. If you're just joining us, I'm Andrew Samaha, joined alongside Dylan Kaminsky, and the Minutemen currently lead the Riverhawks 42-32 as we get ready for the second half. But Jaden Jinge was a big bright spot for the Minutemen in that first half, Dylan.
Yeah, Andrew, his season high this year is only 10 points, and we've seen him score a lot more than that in the past. I think he has a great chance to break that this game, but further than the 8 points, obviously he's known for that defense, and it has been apparent tonight. Getting a lot of steals. He's got a couple steals to his for tonight, 4 to be exact. And whenever Yepto brings up that ball for Lowell, he's instantly hounded by Jinge. He's given no freedom at all to operate.
And yeah, also for the Minutemen, there's been a point guard this year, and it's been between KJ Parker and Danny Carbuccia, and it's starting to feel like it's situation by situation. Whoever's got the hot hand is who Frank Martin's going to go with. And of course, I'm talking about KJ Parker and Danny Carbuccia, and it seems like today it's been KJ Parker.
Yeah, today it's been Parker. Obviously, last game against Harvard when Carbuccia had 13 assists. That day is going to be him. You know, I think this is really interesting because Frank Martin last year didn't have as much flexibility with these guards. He didn't have as much of a choice between, do I want a lot of assists or do I want a guy that can shoot the three alongside Banks today? Going forward for this season, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a lot of mixing and matching between Carbuccia and KJ Parker for that starting role.
KJ Parker today, he's got 10 points off the bench to go with 5 assists in 13. As for Danny Carbuccia, who started the game, just 1 point and 1 assist in his 10 minutes. But as we get ready for the second half, both teams will send out their starting fives, which does include Danny Carbuccia over KJ Parker. So one more time, those starters on the floor for the Minutemen. It's Danny Carbuccia, Marcus Banks Jr., Jaden Jinge, Daniel Hankins-Sanford, who's playing well today, having a bounce-back game with 10 points, and Leonardo Bettiol. And for the Riverhawks, it's Yepto, Austin Green, Xavier Spencer, Jared Fry, and JJ Massaquoi. So we will start out with Yepto, who hands it off to Massaquoi. Gives it off to Jared Fry. He only played 3 minutes in that first half. Daryl Yepto, top of the key, on Carbuccia, gets him to stumble a little bit. Step back jumper by Yepto is good, and he's got 13 points in the first bucket out of the half.
Yeah, Yepto just liked the mismatch, and he was able to utilize that, create some space for the shot.
Well, Jinge tries to spin around Fry and put up the shot. No good. And Frey comes away with the rebound. Yepto, right wing, driving on Hankins-Sanford, gets into the lane. Easy layup for Yepto, getting by Hankins-Sanford, and a quick 4.
Quick 4 for Yepto, and he's really able to use that speed to just get by whoever's guarding him. Even when UMass has the more favorable matchup of Jinge on him, that speed is just almost too much for UMass to handle.
Well, Bettiol has it on the left block, going to work against me. He goes up with the right hook and puts it in. And Bettiol with a pretty quiet first half, just 4 points for him when he averages 16 on the year. He's off to a good start in the second half, putting it in for 2.
And Bettiol looked like he was almost coasting in that first half. We might really see him turn on the burners for the second.
Well, Hankins-Sanford jumps in the passing lane, comes away with a steal. Carbuccia the other way, fouled by Massaquoi, and will head to the free throw line to shoot 2.
55, JJ Massaquoi. That's his third, team's first.
Well, Carbuccia will head to the line for 2. UMass in a little huddle. The refs breaking it up as it went on for maybe a little too long. KJ Parker is currently at the scorer's table.
Danny Carbuccia at the line.
Just 18:42 left to play. Already, KJ Parker's at the check-in, I would assume, for Carbuccia, as he allowed those Yepto drives. And Carbuccia's free throw struggles continue as he misses the front end. And he's 1 for 3 on the day, make it 3 for 9 on the season.
Just some more examples of the rough free throw shooting for UMass this season. Ironically, though, today, Lowell underperforming them in the free throw game.
Well, Carbuccia misses both free throws. So give UMass now 5 for 10 from the line on the day to the Riverhawks 10 for 19. So a lot of points left on the board by both sides so far. As Yepto has it now for the Riverhawks, almost has it poked away from him by Bettiol. Picks up his dribble and hands off to Massaquoi on the left wing, guarded by Hankins-Sanford. Gets the screen from Frey, driving on Jinge. Backing down Jinge. Pump fakes, goes up, and Bettiol, who stopped his help defense, gave Massaquoi the easy layup, but he can't convert it. And the Minutemen have the rebound the other way.
Just some sloppy offense from Lowell. Nobody really ever was open on that one.
And a forced up shot by Hankin Sanford from the baseline, no good. Rebound Spencer pushing quickly the other way, going coast to coast. Feeds it off to Green, whose shot is deflected off the glass, but it is a goaltending, so give 2 free points to the Riverhawks. And it's a 6-point game now.
DHS just a little bit late on that one. I could hear his fingers hit the glass from all the way up here. That's got to hurt, folks.
Well, 17:50 to go. KJ Parker back into the game for Carbuccia, bringing it up for the Minutemen. Parker has it on the right wing, hands off to Marcus Banks, who gets the screen from Hankin Sanford, working to his left against Massaquoi. Up top, Parker, catch and shoot 3 off the front iron, no good, but into the hands of Jaden Jingay. Gives it to KJ Parker, has all day to shoot a 3, and it's around the rim and out. Tipped out of bounds, and going back to the Riverhawks. The Minutemen, they thought they had that one, but Lowell will gain possession.
Parker unable to convert. He was left wide open, maybe a little too open on that one. Just too much time to overthink it.
Well, Parker now 4 for 9 from the floor today, 2 for 6 from beyond the arc for 10 points. Those are 2 shots that, I mean, usually you can lock in for the junior, but unable to convert both times there. And Yepto will bring it the other way across the power U, guarded by Marcus Banks Jr. Yepto gets the screen. Bettiol comes with the double. Feeds it off to the right wing for Spencer. Spencer gets the screen from Green. And another one from Green. Driving on Bettiol. Gets Hankin Sanford in the air, but has it poked away by Parker, and Jingay comes away with it. 2-on-1. Banks and Jingay. Nice 2-man play as Banks, unselfish, gives it to Jingay for the layup.
That's unselfish basketball from Marcus Banks. He could have taken that himself. He could have waited to see a 3-point attempt, but no. Just gives it straight up to Jingay for the easy bucket.
Jingay now guarding Yepto. 46-38 the score, 16:40 to go. Austin Green to Frey in the corner. Frey brings it around up top to the right wing. Yepto driving in. His layup is swatted away by Daniel Hankin Sanford. Marcus Banks the rebound, going the other way. He goes up with it this time, and he puts it in. Marcus Banks Jr. up to 7 points now on the day, and the Minutemen lead back up to double digits, 38-48.
Just a great stretch of basketball early in this second half for UMass, really putting a lid on all of that scoring for Lowell.
Massaquoi setting a bunch of screens for Spencer, who now has Hankin Sanford guarding him. Up top for Green, guarded by Bettiol. Entry pass into Massaquoi. Dangerous one, but gets it there. Massaquoi splits 2 defenders and puts in the layup.
And Massaquoi, he's not that much taller than KJ Parker and Marcus Banks, but he certainly has a size advantage, and he was able to use that fancy footwork to just split the lane, get through, and get a nice shot off.
Well, Leo Bettiol is called for the travel, which will send us to the under-16 media timeout. 48 for the Minutemen, 40 for the Riverhawks, but we're going to give it to our own Karen Snow for a report about Marcus Banks Jr.
Attention, UMass community. Mark your calendars for our 3rd annual New Year's Eve party. This year we're rolling out the Hollywood red carpet. Step into the spotlight and celebrate like a star with live music, award-winning dining, and red carpet games that'll make you feel like you're at the Oscars. This is your moment to shine at the party everyone will be talking about. Visit UMassHospitality.com for more information. Fans, it's time.
Thanks, Karen.
This broadcast is brought to you by 5 College Movers, the official sponsor of UMass men's basketball on 91.1 WMUA. What began as a small family idea has grown into a business with bright box trucks rolling across New England, delivering moves rooted in values that never go out of style. For over a decade, 5 College Movers has provided a personalized moving experience for every client and won't rest until the job is done. You can find information at movestressfree.com or on Instagram and Facebook at 5 College Movers. We thank 5 College Movers for their kind support. As the fan misses the $10,000 putt here at Jack Lehman Court in the Mullins Center.
Well, that's the first time I've seen them bring in somebody as young as little Tristan got a chance to hit the full
Oh my
court
goodness,
putt.
I didn't even notice.
Yeah, they gave him a chance at it. You don't see too often kids of that age get the opportunity. He pulled it a bit left, Dylan, but
yeah,
he almost was money with it.
Clearly this kid just hasn't been putting enough work in on the green. But as a legal studies student, I'm actually very interested by this. If he had made that putt, do you think that the school has an obligation to give him $10,000? Because he is a minor, you know. It seems like a very easy thing to just pull the rug on.
Oh, certainly would be a controversial situation. I'm assuming if he was allowed to do it, that they would give him the chance at the 10,000. But I remember 2 years ago, before you arrived here on campus, someone actually made that full court putt. It was honestly an incredible moment. It was made by a college student here at school, and it took, what I heard, several months for him to earn his 10,000 from it. They finally got it to him, did the Crump and Fox Club.
Yeah, well, of course, we had the incident last year with our good friend Josh Schreiber, WMUA. He's no longer at the station with us, but his buddy, I believe, made a half-court shot for some sum of money that
10,000.
I think took a while to get to him.
Yeah, they gave it to him eventually, but regardless, we are back underway here. 15:45 to go. Riverhawks have the possession. Yepto over to Massaquoi. The Riverhawks up by 8, or trailing by 8, sorry. Yepto top of the key. Frees himself up for a 3. That shot off the front iron, tipped out by Bettiol into the hands of Marcus Banks, way out near half court. Banks thought about a 3 quickly, but lost the handle. Gets a screen from Hankin Sanford to the left corner for KJ Parker. Parker up top for Leo Bettiol, to the right wing for Banks. And the entry pass in low to Hankin Sanford on the right block, working on Massaquoi. Goes up with the left hook and in and out. Bettiol the offensive rebound, one dribble and puts it back in. Leo Bettiol up to 8 points now after gathering his 4th board.
And this is precisely why that offensive rebounding is so important for UMass. As you could probably hear, there was some oohs and ahs and some groans as DHS's shot just rimmed out, but Bettiol just right there to put it back in.
Spencer top of the key now, guarded by Parker, trailing by 10. Hounded by Parker. Spencer feeds it off to Frey. Frey driving in, has it poked loose, and Frey able to stick with it. Gives it off to Green, almost fouled by Bettiol. Good control of his body, but nice move by Austin Green to get inside and puts it up and in. Parker, deep entry pass to Hankin Sanford just over his outstretched arms, and a turnover for the Minutemen. That's the Minutemen's 8th of the game.
As the ball bounces off another WMUA alum, Adam Kishak. Sorry, not alum, current member.
But yeah, the baseline camera down there. 50-42 the score, 14:20 to go as Yepto crosses half court, guarded by Banks now.
And if you're Yepto, you probably want to go drive again, get some good looks inside.
Right wing, Spencer, hounded by Parker, draws the double on the screen from Bettiol. Tries to feed it inside to Green, has it stolen away by Banks, and a free 2 points for Banks the other way, all by himself, accompanied by his good friend Jaden Jinge. But Marcus Banks will put the layup in, and he's up to 9 points on the game.
And yet again, just an errant pass from Lowell. He didn't have anyone in his field of vision yet. He just threw that ball up, and it was an easy steal for UMass.
14 turnovers on the game for Lowell. Frey frees himself up for a 3. That shot off the rim, no good. And rebounded by the big Italian, Leo Bettiol.
Frey having some rough minutes. He was a starter, obviously, tonight here, but for UMass, they've got 3 points, 3 guys at 10 points here.
Well, Yepto with a circus shot. Are they going to count it? The refs are talking about it. Yepto was definitely fouled. It was on the ground. He just And they're going to say the shot is no good, of emphatic whistle that time from the referee, to the dismay of UMass, but he won't get the couple subs for the Riverhawks checking in.
We've got a couple unhappy coaches out there right now, but that was a foul, and irregardless whether the shot counted or not, really impressive player by Daryl Yepto.
Well, Pat Duquette, we haven't talked about him much today. He's in his 13th season now leading the Riverhawks. He was with them in their transition to the D1 level. And it will stay with the Riverhawks as it went out of bounds.
Good play from Clerk there just to be aware and know where the ball is. He was able to turn his body around and get up for the block just in time.
Well, Yepto inbounds it to Montas, who has it in the right corner. Working on Dimitri Clerk, kicks it out. Top of the key, Farmer has it. Gets the screen. He'll force up a shot at the end of the shot clock buzzer. It's deflected, and it'll be a turnover for the Riverhawks as the Mullins Center rises to its feet to appreciate the good defense.
Yeah, and that was a great play as well by Banks. He didn't really get the block at the end there, but he did a great job fighting through the screen to get a hand up and contest the shot from number 22, Khalil Farmer.
11 minutes to play, 57-45. The Minutemen lead on their home floor right now. Carbuccia has it. Nice move to get by Yepto. Feeds it into Dimitri Clerk, who throws it down. The crowd loves it, and the bench loves it especially as the Minutemen now go up by 14 thanks to the flush. Yepto inside to Okoji, who botches the layup, and Clerk comes away with the rebound.
Carbuccia made a man miss on the last one. He's calling for the ball. He feels it.
Carbuccia driving in, kicks it out. Banks for three. Offline, a bit long, and Carbuccia fouls Okoji, who grabbed the long rebound and was about to get out running in space.
That's his second, team's third.
And going back just 2 possessions ago for the Minutemen, Danny Carbuccia made an amazing play to split the defense. A little shimmy move to throw his defender off his balance, and he was able to find a wide open Dimitri Clerk in the paint. That's probably the easiest 2 points Clerk is going to have all season.
Carbuccia with 2 assists now on the day, a great playmaker. Like we mentioned, 13 against Harvard just the other night. Trying to get back into rhythm today. Angel Montas has it top of the key. Over to Yepto. Tries to feed it to Green, and they're going to call a foul on Dimitri Clerk, who tipped that pass out of the way. And, I got to say, Dylan, I strongly disagree with that call. There was a ref right in front of it looking right at it that didn't make the call, and the ref on the baseline calls Clerk for the foul. So that's Clerk's third personal, and Bettiol will check in for him as Jaden Jingay will also come in for DJ Wembley.
Yeah, like you said, Andrew, the near side ref had a much better view of that, and he didn't blow his whistle. It was actually the baseline ref that blew the whistle. He had a covered view of the play.
Yeah, we had a clear look at that, and I thought there was nothing wrong with it, but what do I know? As Yepto saves the ball from being a backcourt violation, gets it to Green, whose layup is no good. Hankin Sanford corrals his 6th rebound, and Carbuccia bringing it the other way. Backdoor cut by Jaden Jingay, feeds it to him. Jingay, instead of just going up with the layup, tries to get crafty with his pass to Bettiol and turns it over into the hands of Montas.
And, I don't hate the play from Jingay there. He was going to be met with serious contact at the rim. If Bettiol was just a little bit more ready for that pass, it could have been an easy 2.
Green goes up against Bettiol and is fouled in low. So Austin Green will go to the line to shoot 2, and Bettiol picks up his 3rd foul. As we were just talking about how Jingay tried to get crafty with a pass and turned it over. Frank Martin really emphasizing a point to Jingay there to get that ball up in the air. And if you know Frank Martin, I'm sure you could understand the way that message was just delivered to everyone here in the Mullins Center.
Of course, Jingay may have led to the turnover on that last possession for UMass, but it was all made possible by a really great play from Danny Carbuccia. These past couple possessions, he's been driving and cutting to the rim and finding an open guy. He did it for Banks on the last play. Obviously, he had that nice feed to Clerk, who is now on the bench. But Carbuccia has just been virtually unstoppable when he drives to the paint and finds an open man to kick it out to.
Well, Austin Green steps to the line and goes 0 for 2. So 11 for 22 are the Riverhawks or 11 for 23, are the Riverhawks from the line today. That's 12 points left on the board. Down by 14 with 9:30 to go. It's hard to get yourself in games when you can't make your free throws. As Okoji picks up a foul, and we'll head to the bench for the Riverhawks, and UMass will inbound from the baseline.
Yeah, seriously. And in the post-game presser on Wednesday against Harvard, Frank Martin talked about how he had coached bad free throw shooters in the past, and he's coached good free throw shooters, and the bad stay bad. But the good can have those mental breaks where they get the yips and they can't hit a free throw. That might be something what we're seeing here tonight for Lowell.
Well, Banks misses a three there as Angel Montas grabs the rebound, and Lowell will come the other way. Worth noting, Victor Okoji's foul he just picked up, that was his 5th foul, so he will be sidelined for the rest of this game. He is fouled out. And Jingay trying to strip it away from Khalil Farmer, gets him on the arm a little bit, and they're going to call another foul against the Minutemen. That'll be Jingay's first foul of the game, which very surprising for a guy who has played such a physical brand of basketball today. 5 steals for Jaden Jingay, and just now getting whistled for his first foul.
And it's really a testament to how disciplined he is as a defender. He knows exactly when the lid on the cookie jar is open, and he can sneak in there and he can take a cookie, and he can get some points on the opposite end.
Yepto will inbound for the Riverhawks. Gets it in to Roberson. Roberson backing down Jingay. Goes up, and DHS swats another one away.
DHS having himself a game.
Jingay to the corner for Banks. Wild pass. Banks unable to keep it in safely. Yepto the steal. Up ahead to Massaquoi. Massaquoi backing down Jingay from the three-point line. Gets into the block. Spins into Hank and Sanford. His shot no good. Trying to draw contact. And Carbuccia brings it the other way. UMass has got numbers. Jaden Jingay driving in. His layup. Count the bucket and the foul. And Jaden Jingay with a new season high of 12 points will head to the free throw line to try and make it 13.
And who else but Danny Carbuccia to set up the easy cut for Jingay. Just a beautiful pass as they show it on the Jumbotron. He caught Jingay in motion. Jingay didn't have to slow down for a moment. And then DJ Wembley just falls over as he runs to pick up Jingay. I think the floor sweepers need to do a little bit better job getting that court dry.
Well, UMass now up by 16. We've been tooting Jaden Jingay's horn all day. 12 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and 5 steals in 23 minutes. The junior having himself a day as he takes an extra breath. Probably pretty exhausted out there as the floor gets wiped off of all of its sweat.
And folks, you can see they are feverishly wiping down the spot on the court where Wembley slipped.
Well, a couple subs in for both teams. The Minutemen 5 is Parker, Banks, Jingay, Wembley, and Damjanitz. For Lowell, it'll be Walter, Montas, Spencer, Roberson, and Massaquoi, as we seem to have dried the wet spot on the baseline. And now the refs having some sort of conversation, but Jingay finally receiving the ball to take his free throw. UMass 6 for 11 from the line today. Jingay 2 for 2. His free throw is good. So the season high is now extended to 13 as the Minutemen lead is up to 17 now, 62-45 with 8:30 to go. Walter in the corner, back up top to Xavier Spencer. Into Massaquoi at the free throw line. To the Walter on the wing for 3, no good. Wembley's rebound is tipped to Parker.
Walter has not been much of a three-point shooter this season. Lowell down here late in the game. They're going to need to find better shots than that.
Banks' layup no good. Damjanitz fighting for the rebound. We're going to have a jump ball. The possession arrow will go towards the Minutemen. So nice job by Damjanitz fighting for that board to keep the possession alive for the Minutemen.
Good to see both teams here haven't given up. Obviously, UMass leads by 17 with 8 minutes to go, but Lowell still playing with a lot of heart, not giving up easy.
Banks has it on the right elbow off the inbound. Gives it to KJ Parker. Left wing 3. That shot off the front iron, no good. Fight for the rebound. Who but Jingay's going to come down with it. He goes up and is fouled and will head to the line for 2.
And Jaden Jingay on the offensive glass has been all the difference in the world tonight. He's just been crashing the boards, playing high energy, and generating so many second chance opportunities for this Minuteman team.
Well, the Minutemen lead 62-45 as we've hit our under 8 media timeout. 7:55 to go in the game. Stick with us here on 91.1. We're going to step aside for just a moment. Welcome back into our broadcast here on our YouTube page on 91.1 WMUA Sports. If you're just joining us, I'm Andrew Smaha, joined alongside Dylan Kaminsky. And the Minutemen lead in this Kennedy Cup rivalry matchup against the UMass Lowell Riverhawks 62-45. As Jaden Jingay will head to the free throw line with 13 points on the day. His career high is 17, which came a season ago against guess who? The UMass Lowell Riverhawks. So he has a chance today to eclipse that.
And UMass Lowell has been playing a brand of basketball that allows Jaden Jingay to succeed. They haven't really been quite as disciplined in the transition game. Jingay with the endless stamina has just been able to outrun them, get a lot of transition layups, down low scoring, and cutting to the basket. It's just something that Lowell has not been able to keep up with.
Jaden Jingay made the first free throw, and he puts in the second one. How about Jaden Jingay, a 57% free throw shooter coming into today, 5 for 5 and up to 15 points on the day to give the Minutemen a 19-point lead. Walter gives it off to Massaquoi, right elbow inside to Roberson on the right block, who puts in the layup, and the lead down to 17.
Roberson spent the last 3 years at James Madison. He's fitting in nicely, getting some extended minutes in this game tonight.
Marcus Banks driving in, puts up the floater, count the foul, and the basket. Marcus Banks Jr. puts it in, and the Minutemen lead by 19.
The Minutemen just picking apart this Lowell defense. Lowell not able to get any good stops, and they've resorted to fouling, which in the past couple of games maybe that would work against the Minutemen, but they've actually been improving their free throw shooting tonight, shooting 64%. That's a high mark for this year.
Well, Marcus Banks' free throw is good. Put him up to 12 points now, and that extends his little streak he's got going, his 7th consecutive game in double figures as UMass comes away with a steal on a half-court press. Banks spot up three, a bit strong. And Massaquoi comes away with the long rebound, tries to get it ahead to Walter. It slips through his legs, and Banks has the steal. And he's going to slow things down for the Minutemen with 7 minutes to go.
Banks with 2 steals in the span of like 10 seconds here, folks. That is unbelievable. That first one, he just read that like a free safety.
KJ Parker, step back jumper, got it. KJ Parker up to 12 points, and the Minutemen lead 69-47. Roberson hands off to Spencer, top of the key, gets the screen from Roberson. Puts up a jump shot from the right elbow, and it's good for Xavier Spencer, who's got 6 points on the day.
Xavier Spencer goes by the nickname X. That's not the only nickname on this squad. We got Jacob Frey. He's known as J. Frey, colloquially.
And KJ Parker just dribbles it off his own foot, so a steal into the hands of Spencer. 2-man game the other way between Spencer and Walter, and an easy 2 for Spencer. Parker going right at Walter the other way. His layup off the glass, no good. Gets his own rebound, kicks it out to Wimbley. Up top to Marcus Banks. Banks driving to his right on Walter. Spinning and puts up the layup, and he is fouled on the way up. And Walter, in disbelief at that call, picks up his second foul.
Good move by Banks there on the spin to get that contact and head to the free throw line. We've seen UMass in a position similar to this a lot of times this season. I'm speaking, of course, as up double digits late in the game. Hasn't always been quite as stress-free as they would hope, especially not in that last game against Harvard where they nearly blew a 23-point lead. But seems tonight that they're doing a better job on retaining this lead and playing good, disciplined basketball.
Well, Banks puts in the first free throw, so he's 2 for 2 on the day now, 13 points. And a couple subs for the Minutemen. Jingay, Parker, and Damjanich will check out. Bedial, Hankin Sanford, and Carbuccia back in for the Minutemen. Banks, the second best free throw shooter on the Minutemen in terms of percentage, just behind KJ Parker, who has yet to miss this year. Banks puts in both free throws, and the Minutemen now 12 for 17 from the line today, as Banks knocks in both. On the right block, Roberson going to work on Bedial, gets a bit too deep under, misses the shot, and Bedial grabs his 6th rebound.
Roberson blocked by the rim that time, folks.
Bedial up top, working On Roberson inside now. Bettyall goes up with the left hand, no good. Wembley, the tip, no good, and the rebound by Massaquoi.
Good play by Wembley to come up with the offensive rebound, but Massaquoi right there to meet him and strip that ball away.
Spencer, right wing. Guarded by Hankins Sanford. Feeds it in low to Massaquoi, who's got the size advantage on Carbuccia. Can't convert. And Hankins Sanford rejects the second chance opportunity. The fourth block of the game for DHS. Carbuccia the other way has his shot swatted out of bounds by Xavier Spencer. And both teams going block for block with each other.
A block from both teams, but two very different outcomes. DHS, being the savvy vet that he is, he knew that UMass needs to keep possession of this ball, and on his block, trust me, folks, he could have sent that into the 18th row, but he was able to keep a hold of it, get UMass going down the court.
Banks steps into a jump shot from just in front of the three-point line. No good. Walter the rebound. 71-21, 5 minutes to play. Walter draws the double from Bettyall, and his pass is stolen away by Wembley, trying to find Yepto on the wing. Wembley to Hankins Sanford, who will pull things back out for Carbuccia.
Lowell is sitting at 19 turnovers on the night.
Carbuccia gets the screen from Bettyall. Has his pass poked away by Spencer, but Banks comes away with it. 10 on the shot clock. Banks is going to pull one, and he knocks it down. Marcus Banks shooting that one from Rhode Island, puts it in, and he's up to 14 points. Or 17, excuse me.
You could see that one coming. That the second he hounded down that ball, the slow little approach to the three-point line, that's something you see out of LeBron a lot, actually.
And that pass poked away by the Minutemen, another steal. So the 20th turnover of the game for Lowell, and Banks will slowly dribble this one up the floor. 74-51 as we near 4 minutes to play. Wembley hands off to Carbuccia. Off to Bettyall, top of the key. Gives to Carbuccia, left wing. Carbuccia driving in. Nice pass to Bettyall inside, who puts in the layup. Danny Carbuccia's third assist of the game, and it's a pretty one.
And Carbuccia might not have the numbers supporting him tonight, but he has had so many drives into the paint that just get attention and leave a guy open for an easy bucket.
76-51, 3:30 to play. Yepto getting into the lane, fouled. His shot no good, but he will go to the free throw line on the other side of the under 4 media timeout. Minutemen 76, Lowell 51, as UMass is taking over here inside the Mullins Center. We'll be right back here in this blowout game.
And welcome back here at Jack Lehman Court in Amherst, Massachusetts. It's 5:47 p.m. Saturday, December 6th. And we've had a great game so far, a great hour and 45 minutes of play. Andrew, UMass obviously leads by 25 here in the final minutes. What do you think got them the win today?
Well, it's just been a great effort in the second half. forcing turnovers, getting out in transition, and they've really dominated the battle in the paint today. They're up 29-10 in terms of points in the paint. As far as blocks go, Daniel Hankins Sanford with 4 to Lowell's 1 on their own. I mean, they've just gotten it done in the second half, and they finally, in the second half, have been making their free throws.
Absolutely. The free throw shooting is something we've been waiting to see all season. Still could be better, but considering where we have been this year, you take what you can get. As Lowell drains the free throw and Danny Carbuccia brings the ball up just past the power U. He's got Yepto working on him. Passes to Raleigh Castanera, first appearance in this game. And it's back to Carbuccia on the right wing. DHS with the DHO. Carbuccia drives to the paint, puts up a shot, and it's good.
It's so pretty when Carbuccia has the ball in his hands. You never know if he's going to pass it or go up with it. That time, a nice little pump fake. Gets a defender off of him for a free layup.
Just adding to the points in the paint for UMass. Here's, and he's met at the rim, stops Carbuccia on the other end. Reverse layup, no good. Dimitri Clerk now kicks it out to DJ Wembley, who will fire and miss. Clerk again with almost getting the offensive rebound, but the referee will signal in the direction of Lowell. It'll be their ball.
Well, that just objectively seemed to be the wrong call. I think it was clear as day who that ball went off of, and it was off of Lowell. But even the Mullen Center in a 25-point game bursting in outrage that Clerk didn't win the possession back there.
I think it says something about the quality of the fans even when you're up 25, 2 minutes left in a game in December, when you're this passionate about a missed call. I think that shows the fans really have bought into this team, as Daniel Yepto passes to Xavier Spencer. Spencer with Outlaw working on him passes, and it's good. Austin Green.
Good job by Lowell drawing Outlaw out of the paint there to get Austin Green a free rim run and an easy 2 points.
Now Outlaw at the top of the key, passes to Castanera. Raleigh working, passes to DJ. Wembley tripped up and stripped. It's going to be Isaiah Walter the other way, pushing the pace. Keenan Bay with the layup, and it's sent back by Clerk. They're going to call it a foul.
Well, Outlaw showing off the incredible athleticism on that block, but unfortunately a foul called on the ground. They called the foul on Outlaw, but after seeing the replay on the video board, it most certainly should not have been on him. That looked like it was very clearly on Raleigh Castanera.
And with a 25-point lead, the fact that there have been so many questionable calls, I just think that speaks to how good of a game UMass is having, as Donovan Brown, cooking Isaiah Walter, puts up the shot, and it's good.
Donovan Brown trying to prove that he deserves more minutes in this garbage time here. Puts up a nice little hook shot to put the Minutemen up by 25.
Now Walter with Raleigh hounding him on defense, kicks it out to Spencer, who will connect.
Well, Xavier Spencer is really having himself a much nicer second half. That's 9 points now in the second half for the junior from Canada.
The score now 80-58 UMass with just about a minute left. DJ Wembley from the corner will shoot and miss. Daryl Yepto crashes the board, but we have a player down, and it's Xavier Spencer, folks. He took a hit there.
Well, it doesn't look good for Spencer right now. He's down, but doesn't look like anything that he can't recover from, as he gets helped to his feet by two teammates, and the trainer comes out to walk him off the floor. And this Mullen Center crowd, not hostile at all, giving a nice round of applause off to Xavier Spencer, who will likely check out for the last time today. Putting in a good 11 points, 6 boards and 4 assists, an underrated good game from him.
And a good showing from these fans as they give him a standing applause on his way out. Xavier Spencer spent the last 2 years at Carleton and leads the team in assists so far this year. He's a really valuable player, and even in these last minutes, they're going to miss his role. Good play by Isaiah Walter to cut to the rim and score. It's 80-60 with KJ Parker bringing the ball up. Now Outlaw to Wembley. Wembley to Brown. Brown on the right wing working. He gives it back up to Parker, to Brown, who has an open shot but doesn't take it. KJ Parker at the top of the key will miss, and Brown gets the rebound. And KJ Parker can hold it for the next 16 seconds as the game clock just passes 25. The fans rising to their feet. UMass is going to walk out of here today with a win.
Yeah, Parker being told by Frank Martin to just hold it till the shot clock goes off, giving KJ Parker his 5th turnover of the game, unfortunately, to go with his 5 assists. But all around, great performance by the Minutemen today. I mean, currently a 20-point lead. They get their revenge on their in-state rival in the Kennedy Cup, Dylan.
See, this is why it's very important that you don't just box score watch, because to the naked eye, it might not seem like KJ Parker had the world's greatest game, but he really came through and was a big reason for the UMass coming out of here with a win. The score, 80. UMass 80. UMass Lowell 60. As UMass is going to improve to 6-3, and Lowell will fall to 3-6. Andrew, this was a great game. How do you feel about it?
Well, UMass really needed this one coming into today. They were coming off of a nice 2-game win streak after they dropped 2 games in the Paradise Jam that they really should have won. They needed a confidence boost, and they're starting to find it now. That's 3 straight wins as they look to head down to Springfield to take on Boston College. That's going to be a big game for them to see which way their season's going to go. And, I mean, what a game it was all around from the Minutemen. The box score, you take a look at it. So many, 5 different guys in double figures today. Hankins Sanford with 12, Betty all 13, Jingay 15, Marcus Banks 17, and KJ Parker 12. A really great rounded out effort today from the boys to get this one done, and especially against an in-state rival like UMass Lowell, who came into your building last year and beat you by double digits. They needed this one.
A good revenge showing from UMass here to win the Kennedy Cup. We have plenty more sports on WMUA tonight, starting with hockey at 7. The men's team is taking on Northeastern at Northeastern. We have our wonderful reporters, Jean Ruggiero and Jacob Repper, as well as Noah Glickman over there to call that game. Make sure you tune into that one. And as far as men's basketball goes, we've got a Hall of Fame classic Wednesday against Boston College, December 10th. My good friend Andrew Samaha and Adam Kishak will be on the call for that one. But as for this call tonight, folks, that's just going to about do it. My name is Dylan Kaminsky, of course, here with Andrew Samaha, James Pacell, and Karen Snow doing a great job down at the court reporting. It's going to be it for WMUA 91.1 FM, the home fort for all Minutemen sports.